This
love it.
is
That's awesome.
Kat and Josh, who you're going to meet in a moment with Kat's Home Chat. And I am the president and CEO and visionary of Ta-Da by Kat, Next Level Staging and Design. If we haven't met, hello, glad to meet you. You want to watch this episode and share this episode. If you want a green thumb, you don't have a green thumb, you'll love gardening and flowering, or you do not love yard work, gardening, etc. I've got my garden hat on and my purple thumb. I don't have a green thumb, but I love to garden. And actually, my wonderful daughter-in-law really inspired me because she certainly has a green thumb. And I've really taken to just getting all kinds of botanicals. And we're going to talk about faux botanicals at the end of the show. So you want to stay tuned on some tidbits on there. But without further ado, let's meet Josh. Josh is from Singh Growing USA division. And welcome, Josh. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join us this morning. I'm really excited to find out what you have to say. So tell the folks a little about Josh before we go into Singh Growing. Tell us a little bit about Josh and how you got into this business and what, just kind of, I guess, your elevator speech or your hook of, kind of what does Singh Growing do?
Sure. And thank you, Kat. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm excited. This is the first time I've been able to do this. So we're going to roll with the punches, and thank you. But yeah,
Absolutely.
A little bit about me before the business. I appreciate that because it's always in my, so for me on Saturdays, I run a live for a farmer's market. And the reason I wanted to volunteer that time was because I believed that there needed to be a connection for the people behind the business. So when you came and you just said that, it instantly connected to what I feel is that there is people behind these businesses, especially local businesses.
Yes.
We're hardworking parents or families a lot of times, or just individuals who are in the community working hard to bring value. And so thank you for that introduction. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But for me, as Josh, I'm a father first. My children are my life, and I work hard to, basically just provide a great life for them. And
how many kids do you have?
I have two wonderful children. I have a daughter who just started first grade, and that was exciting. She's been in school for a few years, just going through the preschool and kindergarten at her elementary, and now first grade, which is super exciting.
That's big. Yes.
It is. And then I have a 3-month-old, a little boy, my little boy, and he is just a chunky little sweetheart, and I love him so very much.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Well, I love, and as you know, when you and I met, I love supporting, giving a platform for local entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, family-owned businesses. I really, like you said, I really think they bring a lot of value, and it really connects our communities together. And that's what this platform is about. We started it out all things real estate, and we've crossed that out. It's all things home, and that's such a broader spectrum. Really, from just so many topics, it has opened up because we all have a home. It doesn't matter, whether it's an apartment or a studio or a mansion or whatever. We all have a home, and a lot of stuff happens in a home, and the home dwelling. So tell us about Singh Growing. Can you move up a little? We can see your logo. Ta-da. Yes, I love that. Yes, ta-da! We're getting double plugs here.
I love it. Yeah, I had to.
Love it. So yes, and I loved your conversation about redoing the logo. We did the same thing when we started many years ago. But tell us about Singh Growing for folks who have never heard of Singh Growing, which I hadn't when we met.
Yeah, absolutely. And so cool that we met on one of the properties that I actually treat. It's a commercial property up in Magnolia, Texas, which is Magnolia Technology Park. It's a wonderful place.
Yes, I saw that on your website. Yes, huge park. Right. I just rented a space for my greenery custom biophilic division of Cat's Eye and Decor. So we've got the green thing in common. Yeah, I especially put out some green for you here, and I'm wearing green for you.
Beautiful.
So yes. So that's a huge park. Yes, Magnolia Tech Park. And so tell us what you're doing for them on the commercial side, and then we'll talk about the residential side.
Sure. So really both of them kind of intertwine with each other, the residential, the commercial, and even the farms that we treat locally out here in the community. Our product is one product. It is Grow. So it's our patented product. It's all natural and it's made right here in Texas, which is also incredible because this is my home state and I believe in giving back to the community. So what a wonderful way to do it by naturally enhancing all of the beauty that we have in our nature here. So Grow is a product that does a few things for the soil, and by balancing and enhancing the soil, it gives the plants the best possible atmosphere to grow and strive and be as healthy as possible. So we are a full service. We come out to the properties and we actually treat the properties with our liquid product. And we really look to just maintain the properties lush, full, and then through extreme weathers that we see in Texas, like droughts, and then, nobody expected it, but even the freeze, we can now say, randomly enough in Texas, we have the freeze that we just have to keep in mind. But in those extremes, we're seeing that our customers are getting their plants to not only stay alive, but if they are, being affected, they're recovering faster, which means less plant replacement on those properties. So
and a lot of us experience that. I had a giant bird of paradise, maybe 18 feet tall, and I thought I lost it, but we cut it all back and it's starting to come back. So let me ask you I know it's a patented product, but would you consider it a root stimulator, or how is it different, or what does it compare to like Miracle-Gro, or like I buy some plants lately online and I purchase their add-on root stimulator. How would you describe the product, if you will? So we know it's liquid, and it can be treated for anything, for grass. Your website also says potted plants.
Absolutely. So we are a soil enhancer. The best way to describe the product itself is a soil enhancer. Now, why is that? So the product's 100% biodegradable, meaning it's absorbed through the stalk, through the plant, through the flower, through the leaf. But where we actually treat and focus is at the root system and the soil. So what we're doing and why we are able to treat all soil anywhere, no matter what the type of soil is, whether it's sandy soil, 50-50 mix, topsoil, clay soil, is because we focus on that, the soil itself. We are enhancing what is naturally available in the soil, but a lot of times, especially, states here in the South, where we have a lot of heat and the sun is constantly beating down on the earth, it makes it difficult for the plants to take root and to actually absorb the nutrition that's available. So with our product, we are aerating the soil naturally. So we're opening up and we're allowing it to absorb more hydration. So it holds water longer, but then it also allows those roots to naturally get in deeper and absorb a lot of that stored nutrition. So that's one of the benefits of our products, is actually naturally aerating the soil, so that the roots and the plants can get to what they need to get to, and that we're opening up those deep nutritional pockets that weren't available kind of previously with that heavy compaction.
Perfect. Thanks for that explanation. So what do you find most I'm originally from Southern California. Obviously the soil is much different there, and the weather and everything. What do you find prominently or predominantly, like, is the soil is the pH balance off? Is it too compacted? Is it too, like, how would you describe kind of on a broad base that you find in Texas?
So I'm glad you mentioned that. We luckily have all the problems combined, from funguses to pests to compaction to heat, droughts, to everything. We really do have a combination. And
what about bugs? What about bugs? Does this help bugs too, or?
So that's part of that natural protection that we focus on. So we are not a pesticide, a fungicide, or a herbicide. We do not have those chemicals. We are not going to forcibly kill weeds. We're not going to forcibly kill pests. And we're not going to forcibly kill fungi. But what we do naturally enhancing the properties in the soil is we do balance the pH specific to what the plants are requiring out of the soil. So we're not forcibly going in and driving the pH up or down. We are reacting to what the roots are requiring out of that soil.
I
So
love that.
by doing that, we're also helping to avoid allowing funguses to come in and make those, differences in the soil. When it's nice and it's healthy and it's balanced, the funguses do not have the opportunity to thrive in that atmosphere. Now, can they still come in? Are they still natural? Are they in our environment? Absolutely. But what we see is that if our customers do start to see any kind of fungi in their yard, by the next treatment, our product is then allowing it to naturally balance back out the pH and get those funguses out of there. So we are not using chemicals to combat any of these problems. We are using our product that has, we have this unique patent. We have this unique formula that is making an amazing difference in our agricultural world. And we are the only product that can go from farm to commercial properties to homes and treat everything without having any negative effects on the earth itself.
I
And
love that.
as a
And
matter of
that's
fact,
what I loved about your whole is everything is natural and organic. It's not
it is.
chemically driven.
Yes, 100% biodegradable, 100% natural. So really, that's one of the amazing things too, is where you have a lot of concerns with the special equipment to wear or transportation of our product. If for any reason our product, let's say it's spilt because there was an accident on the highway, the fire department would literally come out and spray down like they would naturally. It would absorb into the earth all around, and it would only help to enhance that area.
They would
Even
get a
in that,
free service.
they would get a free, amazing service, Not that we ever want anything to go wrong, but we
Right.
did want to make sure that our product was safe from production all the way through getting treatments on the land. It's very stable in low and high temperatures. It's an incredible. Now, the one thing I do want to mention, you had said earlier, how did you get into this? Are you a rocket scientist? No, I'm not a rocket scientist by any means. I was actually in emergency medical services. So I worked
That's
911
right.
for almost 10 years prior to this. And after getting out of EMS, I had gotten into another business that was an all natural solution for like restaurants and things of that nature. I just really always believed there had to be better solutions. And when I came across the opportunities to work with businesses like that, I jumped on it. Unfortunately, that opportunity did not pan out the way I would have liked it to, but that led me to meeting my business partner now, Mr. Robin. He is like a mentor to me. He's an amazing person. I really appreciate this opportunity, and he is actually the reason I'm in this. So while I was introducing myself to local businesses through the previous company, I walked into his office and, "Hey, my name is Josh. This is my company. This is what I'm doing, the company I'm working for. This is what I'm doing." And I just presented myself to all the local businesses. "Hi, we're neighbors. I wanted to get to know you. If I can ever bring you value, please let me know."
Sure.
And over a few months, we built a friendship. And he came to me one day and he just said, "Hey, Josh, I wanted to present this to you. I believe that you have qualities that can get this product where it needs to go." And I took a long time to do my own type of back end research and
Sure.
to just verify that, I sprayed my own yard. I had my neighbors who graciously allowed me to spray their yard. I wanted to see results. I wanted to see the quality of the product.
You got to
I
believe in the
saw
product. Yeah.
You have to 100%. So I spent quite a long time just doing my own personal research. And when I saw the value it was doing to like my property and my neighbors, and everybody was like, "What is this? It's amazing." And there's no adverse effects. There's no harm to nature. We're not damaging the water beds. And in actuality, for our farms that do choose to use some of those products, especially large scale farmers, it's very
Mhm.
difficult to farm at that scale without using some of those chemicals.
Right.
That's just how it is.
Right.
The ability to reduce by 50%, 60, 70% by utilizing our product is an amazing combination. So for us, all the way around, for the all natural properties and for the properties that do use some of those, the reduction in any of those products across the board we believe is making an impact, a very positive impact in agriculture,
Absolutely.
all the way around.
Absolutely. Anytime you can, be kinder to the planet and not poison the planet, it's definitely, throwing one starfish back, in the ocean, definitely.
Yeah.
From a consumer standpoint, we all, people have heard me say I come from, part of my background and my long history of career is in new home sales. And, of course, the landscape looks wonderful. I myself, have you ever, anyone out there watching this, you wonder how these commercial, like, how do they have keep everything so lush and so beautiful and so green and so blooming, everything. Yes. Okay. They do have regular maintenance, but I think a big part of it has got to be this kind of care. The grounds are beautiful at the Magnolia Tech Center. That's a huge, can make a huge difference, and I've seen it. I'm excited, as I told you, Josh, we invested in 3 fruit trees that one, it looks like they're going to have to replace. I'm not sure about the other 2. And, quite possibly because it was planted during almost the height of the heat, the root system didn't take hold. We use their juice, if you will, from the nursery, but I'm excited to see what Silgrow can do, since we've spent a lot of money on our yard. And, if you've spent money on your landscape and you want to keep it nice, most of our yard maintenance folks are, at least for me, are, mow and blow. They're not really taking it to the next level to make it lush and green. How long would you say, like, for a resident, for you to, and I know I read on your website, you can do 1 time, you can do, 2 times, you can do maintenance, obviously commercial spaces have you on a maintenance program, as they should. And just like no 2 bodies are alike, no 2 yards are alike in terms of what kind of botanicals they have, what kind of issues they have, what kind of erosion or drainage or trees, or, all that kind of stuff. But you do have packages to fit anybody's needs. And talk to us about potted plants, because that kind of interested me. I've got amassed, a fair amount of potted plants that right now with this Houston heat, you have to really pay attention to. But talk to us about that. How does it work with potted plants?
So in kind of how I mentioned earlier, with us being able to really work with all soils, we can treat the potted plants just like we can row crops, similar to flower beds, just like grass. We are enhancing what's naturally balanced in the soil. So our product does have some fertilizer properties, iron and calcium and things that the nature needs that you do want to introduce topically sometimes just to give them those benefits. So by treating the potted plants, we're giving them the same benefits of the fertilizer, as well as keeping that soil balanced all the way around. And then we're also combating the elements such as the sun, like you mentioned. So by allowing the soil to absorb more hydration and to stay wet longer, you're going to give your plants better results. So it really works across the board because all plants need the same thing, and all plants get attacked by the same elements, the same pests. Different plants, different pests, but they're all going to be infested some way or another, whether it's fungus or just the elements, the heat, something's going to affect those plants. And our product is packaged to really fight naturally all of those problems that can come in. So we never tell our customers 100%, you're never going to have a problem ever again. There may be an area of your land that just will not recover. It's so depleted before we got here that we are going to need to seed it come cooler weather. However, your germination and your land's ability to take that seed is going to increase astronomically by preparing it with Silgrow treatments. And
so do you sell, let's talk about the Silgrow treatment. We've got about 10 minutes here, and I want to make sure we get as much good information to our viewers as possible. So let's say someone just has, let's say an apartment with a veranda and they've got 50 potted plants. Is your product something that they could buy, so they can, obviously they don't need the labor of service. Could they buy your stuff, your magic Grow, so that they could feed their plants on their own? Is that possible?
So right now we are working on that. The demand and building up the quality of our service was to keep our standard. We wanted to make sure that all of our customers that came on early got the same results. And I'm sure, you can understand, let's say you give your product to somebody and they say, I'm going to store it this way and I'm only going to dilute it this way and it's all going to happen. Well, you can only, trust so much that they can fulfill that in the beginning before we're able to really educate people on how to properly use the product. Now, is it easy enough that you can be diluted in a water bottle and treated in an apartment and sprayed on their plants? Absolutely. But that's not something that we have available right now.
At the moment.
Right now, yes. We are working on bottling. That comes with some back end things that we have to keep in place, like labeling.
I think that would be awesome.
So
and I'm sure, the commercial and the larger scale and the farms and all that, obviously that's a larger scale. So as you scale your business, that could be something down the pike. So how long has Grow been in business? And I believe you said your partner runs the international. Is that correct? So it started internationally?
So Grow started here in Texas. It's actually been around for a little over 10 years for research, development, perfection, things of that nature. My partner does all of the international side, so overseas getting to small farms all around the world and even large scale farmers. That was his side of business that he was focusing on when we met.
Right.
And so the opportunity to come in and put in the work and build the brand here in the United States was where I came into place. So I've been involved for almost a year. That comes with beginning, introduction, research, making sure, doing my own kind of demonstrations, and then obviously building up the clientele that I have now through just really going out and earning people's respect through results.
Right.
I
like that. Through results.
we don't have contracts. We believe in relationships. We 100% do. So all of the customers that are on board and all of everybody that's on board that we work with currently is all customers who are on board because of results and because of what they're seeing out of their land, their properties. For the farmers, the results that they get on their yield, which is 10 to 30% increase in yield typically, which is massive, especially when you're a smaller farmer and you're getting higher quality product without any destructive chemicals. That's massive for them.
I was reading on your website that, I don't know who the client was, but they obviously grow fruits and vegetables for cancer patients, and that, how they increased, 25, 30, even more percentage yield. How awesome is that? Yeah. And like you said, your business is going to grow by results.
Absolutely.
And by the proof. So I think that is awesome. So would you say that primarily right now, the majority of your business is small farmers and commercial businesses, and what percentage residential?
I would give a split 50-50 between residential and commercial and farm business.
Okay.
So we have a lot of customers all throughout Houston. We have customers in Carlton Woods, River Oaks. We have customers in neighborhoods really all throughout Spring, the Woodlands, Tomball, Conroe, up by Lake Conroe. We have some customers. And a lot of times we are getting customers that are looking for answers that they have not seen in previous relationships or in previous services. And by coming in and within 1 to 2 treatments, they're seeing new results and they're seeing the benefits. They're instantly wanting to say, continue, and let me tell my neighbors and let me tell my friends and my family.
Absolutely.
The word of mouth is where our growth comes from, and people just being willing to say, this is incredible. And it's been wonderful. I mean, I'm grateful, like I told you, just to be in conversations like this with local community members who work hard to just bridge the gap. And for you,
Absolutely.
I instantly related, that interior and making sure that it's perfect and you have that skill, and for me, it's
we
like
bring in the interior green. Yeah. And I like that your suggestion on, how we can beautify the exterior as well as the interior. Because, now more than ever, our spaces have become more sacred to us, with this whole aftermath, if you will, if it is aftermath, I don't know. I don't watch mainstream media, but of the pandemic, where folks have been sequestered to home, having to make dual spaces, multi spaces to work at home, et cetera.
Sure.
And I think most of us, for myself and my husband, we've been doing it for many years, so it wasn't a huge change. We have worked from home for many years, but for a lot of people, it's a new concept. And, we want to bring the outdoors in if it's evergreen and we can see it from inside. And to segue into that, if you're looking to sell your home, faux botanicals, it got me to thinking how the whole evergreen thing, Silgrow, beautifying and in a natural way, our exterior, how, we have an entire unit in our warehouse that's nothing but botanicals. They're high-end botanicals. We don't want to use, funky fake looking ones, but It is a huge part of beautifying a space. So if you're looking to sell, and maybe you have to live in your home, it's not vacant, where we bring in and make it look like a model home. We have packages where we'll load up our truck and bring in beautiful faux trees, faux ferns, faux plants, and you would be amazed how that raises your level of vibration. It warms the space. Our architecture is very, very linear. You got a puppy?
Yeah, sorry. Come here. Neptune, go.
It just warms the space, from those very linear boxed, architecture is what, basically how we build homes. So reach out to me if you'd like to find out more about our botanical offerings for the interior. But how would someone reach you, Josh, if they would like to find out more about your services, whether it's, for just their backyard or for acreage? We see a lot of that in Magnolia. What's the best way for someone to reach you before they go on YouTube and see this replayed in a couple of days?
Absolutely. So there's a few ways. You can call us. My number is 346-386-7450. Email josh.sillgrow@gmail.com. And then our website, www.sillgrow.com.
And you want to go there.
Google. Yeah.
Google. Okay.
Google Facebook.
Okay. So you're on Facebook, same thing. Sillgrow. So is it Sillgrow USA for Facebook?
Sillgrow USA across the board. And if you do put Sillgrow USA in Google, it brings up all of our social media. We've got a TikTok as well for people that like to be on TikTok. I'm trying to learn how to have some fun on TikTok. So
yeah, cool. I need to probably, I don't know. Yeah, it's just another thing I got to learn, but
just another one, yeah.
Are you on Instagram at all?
No, not really. I'm trying to get that up. That's definitely a platform that we need to be on more, but I'm just not quite put the time into learning enough about that.
I know there's just so much out there. I know I should do more on Pinterest. I've just the last year on the Instagram because we're so visual, but great information. And I love that, I just love the whole concept of doing everything naturally. So one last thing that I didn't ask you, and that is, so who's your competition and how are you different than your competition? And I think I know the answer to part of that question, but I'm going to let you answer.
So my preference would be there's a lot of lawn care maintenance companies out there who will come out and will physically spray your lawn for different problems, whether it's fungicides, pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers.
Right.
They're well known and they're all throughout our communities. And I'm not here to say that those customers or those companies are not providing good service for their customers, but what I can say is that we are setting a new standard in that service by providing all of that with a whole natural product. So
that's what sets you apart. Is that what you're saying? Is these other products, which I have not looked into them, but the majority of them or all of them, like what sets you apart? They use chemicals. They use chemicals.
What sets us apart is not only that we're all natural, but we're an all-in-one. So we literally have our one product that does it all. And that is our secret sauce. We have an amazing formula. It's truly incredible. But that is really one thing that sets us apart is our product, Still Grow, is all that we use on all of the properties. That includes the farm,
It's not just lawn. Yeah, it's not just lawn. It's not just farm. It's not, okay. I love that. All in one. I think that all in one and natural, those are fabulous. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much again, Josh, again for jumping on at last minute. But as I mentioned, I love last minute because that's, we connected and met on the premises while you were doing your magic for the tech center. So thank you again, and reach out to Josh, guys. If you've got any questions, like to get more information, and I hope you all have a great weekend. As usual, stay positive, stay hopeful, and stay connected. And thank you so much for connecting with Josh and me today. Please share this video and with anybody who has a need to know, which is really everybody. And have a beautiful weekend. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you so much.
My glove, my garden glove. I'm going to be calling you.